11 unhealthy kidney-destroying breakfast foods you should avoid. 11 foods to avoid that are destroying your unhealthy kidneys. Doctors routinely warn people about meals that are hazardous for their hearts, stomachs, and livers. But how are your kidneys? Have you ever considered how your behaviors may be affecting your kidneys? Because it is likely that what you are eating is unhealthy for them. Did you know that about 30 million people in the United States have chronic renal disease? If you have renal disease, it is vital to reduce your consumption of salt, potassium, and phosphorus. Let's discuss some of the foods that are now destroying your unhealthy kidneys. But, before we go into the nutrients, let's speak about the kidneys and why they are so important. The kidneys, which are bean-shaped, play an important role in the body. The kidneys provide a variety of critical activities, including blood filtration, waste disposal through urine production, hormone release, mineral regulation, and fluid balance. There are numerous potential reasons of renal failure. Uncontrolled diabetes and hypertension are the most prevalent. When the kidneys are damaged and unable to filter the blood properly, waste materials and excess fluid accumulate in the body. However, following a kidney-friendly diet and avoiding or limiting specific foods may help to improve kidney function and prevent further damage. With that said, let's shift our focus to the foods that are harming your unhealthy kidneys. 1. Tomato. Tomatoes, another fruit with a high potassium concentration, may not be suited for a renal diet. They taste fantastic raw, in a stew, or in a sauce, and are extremely flexible in the kitchen. However, a single cup of tomato sauce may contain up to 728 milligrams of potassium. Tomatoes are common in many cuisines, but you may simply find a great substitute. Ultimately, your personal preferences will determine which low-potassium alternative you choose. Tomato sauce is high in potassium, while roasted red pepper sauce can be just as good and lower in calories. 2. Spinach. It's difficult to think that the spinach Popeye ate to bulk up could do such severe damage to folks with kidney disease. This could be because to oxalate. Oxalates are a naturally occurring chemical that can be found in many foods. Calcium oxalate accounts for 80% of all kidney stones. For patients with kidney stones, a daily dosage of 40 to 50 milligrams of oxalates is recommended. What has spinach got to do with this? You might wish to avoid eating it because a single serving of spinach has approximately 100 milligrams. Spinach also contains a high level of potassium. Spinach contains between 136 and 290 milligrams of potassium per cup when eaten raw. Cooking causes leafy vegetables to lose volume but not potassium content. When cooked, raw spinach can lose a significant amount of volume. Half a cup of cooked spinach contains much more potassium than raw spinach. 3. Pickles. Pickle jars appear to be a very popular household item. It's probably a good idea to check on your kidneys before committing to an all-pickle diet. For the time being, let's ignore potassium and concentrate on sodium. A healthy adult's daily salt intake ranges from 1,500 to 2,300 milligrams. You might be intrigued as to how much is in a single pickle. Close to 1,200 milligrams. That's up to 80% of your recommended daily limit. Cured or pickled foods include pickles, processed olives, and relish. During the curing or pickling process, a lot of salt is normally used. A high-sodium diet can cause a variety of health concerns, including high blood pressure and kidney stones. Stay away from the pickle jar. 4. Apricots. You should definitely try some apricots if you get the chance. These delectable fruits include a lot of vitamin A, C, and copper. They also have a high potassium content. 1 cup of fresh sliced apricots has 427 milligrams of potassium. However, dried apricots contain up to 1.5 grams of potassium per ounce. So, if you need to stay under 2,000 milligrams of potassium per day, 1 cup of dried apricots will suffice. Apricots, particularly dried apricots, should be avoided when following a renal diet. 5. Potatoes and sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes and potatoes are potassium-rich vegetables. A medium-sized baked potato contains 610 milligrams of potassium, whereas a similar-sized baked sweet potato contains only 542 milligrams. Fortunately, you may reduce the potassium content of vegetables like potatoes and sweet potatoes by soaking or leaching them. Some studies have found that boiling potatoes, particularly in cold water, significantly reduces their potassium content. Soaking potatoes in water for 5 to 10 minutes can also reduce potassium levels by up to 20%. This is known as potassium leaching, or the twofold cook method. Even after being double boiled, potatoes still retain potassium, but at a lower concentration. Even after being boiled twice, potatoes can still contain a lot of potassium, so limit how much you eat. 6. Soda. Sodas, particularly dark-colored sodas, include phosphorus-containing compounds in addition to their high calorie and sugar content. A healthy human body requires sufficient of phosphorus. Phosphorus, which accounts for only around 1% of your body weight, is required for normal bone and tooth growth. The recommended daily consumption for a healthy adult is 800 to 1,200 milligrams. However, taking too much added phosphorus is hazardous to your health. In reality, a can of Coke generally contains 50 to 100 milligrams of added phosphorus. This artificial phosphorus is more easily absorbed by your body than phosphorus from food. Phosphorus from additives, unlike phosphorus found naturally, is not attached to proteins. Instead, because it is found in salt, the body may readily absorb it. Phosphorus additives are regularly found on product labels. Phosphorus is an ingredient in many meals, but the exact amount used is not required to be reported to consumers. If you drink a lot of soda, use caution. 7. Oranges. I understand. We appear to be off to a horrible start with this list. Almost everyone likes oranges. However, citrus fruits' high potassium content may have a negative impact on the health of renal patients who are controlling their weight. The buildup of potassium and other minerals in the blood is a common sign of renal disease. This may cause heart difficulties. Orange juice contains roughly 458 milligrams of potassium per 8-ounce drink, whereas an orange contains about 330 milligrams. If you ask me, one glass of water in the morning does not quench my thirst very well. Grapes, apples, and cranberries, as well as their juices, are excellent substitutes for oranges and orange juice because of their lower potassium content, which benefits the kidneys. 8. Whole wheat bread. People with kidney disease may be unsure which bread is best for them. Nowadays, it appears that any type of bread is superior to white. Whole wheat bread contains a wealth of vitamins and minerals. Whole wheat bread is thought to be healthier due to its greater fiber content. For patients with kidney illness, white bread is usually favored over whole wheat. This is owing to the high levels of phosphorus and potassium it contains. Bread's phosphorus and potassium levels rise in proportion to the amount of bran and whole grains it contains. A single slice of whole wheat bread has around 75 milligrams of phosphorus and 69 milligrams of potassium. If you make a sandwich, that's 150 milligrams of phosphorus and 138 milligrams of potassium. And that's before we add the meat. A single piece of white bread has only 28 milligrams of phosphorus and potassium. Because both white and whole wheat bread frequently contain high levels of sodium, it is critical to select a low-sodium bread. Making your own bread is the most secure and healthiest choice. There are several advantages to making your own bread, including more control over the ingredients and the option to personalize the bread to your unique nutritional needs and preferences. 9. Brown rice. Brown rice may appear healthier at first glance due to its increased fiber content, which is why it is often preferred over white rice. It does, however, contain a significant amount of phosphorus and potassium, making it unsuitable for people with kidney disease. 1 cup cooked brown rice contains around 150 milligrams of phosphorus and 154 milligrams of potassium. Both white rice and pearl barley have fewer of these nutrients. You can still eat brown rice, but only in modest amounts and with other low potassium and low phosphorus foods. 10. Bananas. You may not be aware of it, but there are several key reasons why bananas are bad for your health. You should avoid them if you have kidney problems. Potassium is one of these nutrients. Bananas contain a high potassium concentration. Potassium is a vital mineral for muscle and nerve function, and one medium-sized banana contains approximately 420 milligrams of potassium. So, if you want to maintain your potassium levels stable, consume a lesser piece. If you have renal disease, even one banana can make it difficult to stick to a low potassium diet. Substitute blueberries, strawberries, apples, or pineapples for bananas in your diet. 11. Dairy products. Dairy products include an abundance of phosphorus, potassium, and protein. Dairy products should be reduced or avoided by persons with renal illness due to their high quantities of nutrients. Milk, yogurt, and cheese are excellent examples. A daily serving of milk provides around 349 milligrams of potassium and 222 milligrams of phosphorus. Phosphorus in dairy products is good for bone health in kids and adults, but it can be hazardous to people who have kidney problems. Dairy's high protein content is another problematic. A high protein diet, including dairy products, may put strain on the kidneys. If you need to cut back on dairy, almond, soy, or rice milk are good options. Are you enjoying the information thus far? Subscribe to the page for more excellent health and food-related content.